Meow, 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 meow.
Like I need to rally my own self right now.
Rally your own self. Well,
Curt, I love that we hit right before we hit record. You say, "Do you think you look camera ready?"
I know that you have.
You know that you look really ugly right now, Jen, because you have no makeup on and you look exhausted.
That's not what I said. I said, I know that sometimes at the last minute you're like, oh, look at my hair. And I just wanted to see if you wanted to say, oh, look at my hair.
I don't even care. I was up really late last night helping a friend drive from Bothell to Bellingham to SeaTac back to Bothell. And
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
We didn't even start the journey until 9 p.m. last night. That's all we need to say.
Okay. Hence you being super tired this morning, but that's okay.
But that doesn't matter. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. It's Memorial Day weekend.
Curt and Jen, our podcast here. Thanks for joining us every day and for liking and following and subscribing and all the things that you do. We appreciate that. And yes, heading into a long weekend. Are you prepared? We'll find out, I guess. Today, we're going to ask the question, who's more popular, you or your dog?
Bad news for people who put bananas in their smoothies, and advice to the class of 2025. You guys have some great advice. It's your advice, right? Your advice.
That was our question from Wednesday. How about America's favorite burger chain? And you may think, oh, well, we've heard this before. I don't know that you've heard this one. So we also have a perfect way to make a s'more. And what else?
Fun Facts Friday. Fun Facts Friday. I feel like Fun Facts Friday needs its own jingle.
I'll have to write a jingle for Fun Facts Friday, is what you're saying?
Maybe, with a little ditty that goes with it.
A little ditty.
I have two quick stories of things that happened yesterday to me, and I will try to make them as fast as possible.
Go for it. I want to hear.
I was at the grocery store, my Fred Meyer, down in Thrasher's Corner in Bothell. Mm-hmm. And I see that Ritz, which is a fan favorite here at the Pirac household,
Ritz crackers.
Ritz crackers are on sale for $1.99. It's their super, deal of the week. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to clip that coupon and I'm going to buy a few boxes. And then I realized, what's with this box? Summer edition of Ritz? What? How can they make a summer edition of Ritz? They're Sunkissed Ritz, which means they have a little suntan. They baked them just a little bit longer and they have a suntan and they're so yummy and their marketing worked on me, but I encourage you to try them and I'm not getting paid for this and neither is Curt Cruz.
The marketing worked on you. How many boxes did you buy?
I just bought one because I wanted to make sure I liked them and they are good. They're so cute. They're like just a little bit, like they're literally sun-kissed. They're like a little bit of tan. They're tanned Ritz.
Do you think that the cuteness of the new looking Ritz is affecting the way you feel about the taste? Or is the taste just the same?
No, the taste, it's a little bit crispier. It's just a little bit crispier.
Okay. Like you said, suntanned.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Limited edition. Hurry out and buy yours. Okay. My other story real quick.
Yeah.
My dog Sailor often barks at anything that moves in the backyard. The squirrels, the birds, everything. Like barks loud and scares the crap out of us. So yesterday she was especially loud about her barking. So Macy, her friend, and I are all looking out in the backyard and there's this bunny that's just kind of sitting there taunting her, right? Well, we realize it's not taunting her. She's trying to protect her little baby bunnies, the little tiniest little bunnies that are like coming out of the ground or kind of buried there. So like, okay, we're going to close the shades. We can't let Sailor out. I have a big sign on my sliding glass door saying, don't let Sailor out because I don't want her to eat the little baby bunnies.
Right.
So we did that. And then we go about our business and we just look out to check on them. And the mama bunny is stuck in the little fence that we have that kind of cordons off our garden area. So
now you had to go do a life-saving maneuver procedure.
Yes, I gave Macy and her friend Jonathan some gloves and some wire cutters. I'm like, go out and save that mama bunny. I'm going to go take Sailor out for a walk to pee and poop while you do that. And they did. There you go.
Happy ending. Did the bunnies leave or are they still out there?
I don't know. I haven't checked yet this morning. I'm afraid because, there's like creatures that come out at night.
That's true.
They find those bunnies and they eat them.
Yes. Well, I don't know if I want to hear it. You know what? Just don't check.
I'm not gonna. That is all. Thanks for listening.
The best things in life for free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I want money.
That's what I want. Money, 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 money. All right.
Okay, it's National Road Trip Day, but it's also Lucky Penny Day, which is always on May 23rd. But this is unwelcome news for Lucky Penny lovers.
That's about it for the pennies. And I know there's been talk in the past. We've heard over the years, you know what? We probably should get rid of the pennies. It's not that important. They don't get used that often. And as we found out recently, it costs about 3.7 cents cost to make a 1 cent penny. So it looks like after 233 years, the U.S. Treasury is going to stop making new pennies soon.
Well, I think what isn't it the last roll is going through? What
Well,
right?
the deal is, what do you mean the last roll is going through?
Like
What the Treasury placed its final order for a bunch of blanks. I guess blanks are just, copper, whatever. And then they stamp them and they become pennies. So they place their final order of blanks this month. Once those are minted, they're not making any more. So the last pennies, and this is still a little ways off, their last pennies are set to roll off the production line early 2026.
But here's the thing. So now businesses are going to round up, right, to the nearest 5 cent. So we're going to probably have to start making more nickels. The problem with that is that nickels cost a lot of money, like more than 5 cents to make too.
It says here about 14 cents for each nickel to mint.
So how does that make sense?
So all this time and all these years, it's been costing us more money to make the money than what the money is worth.
We're wondering about the deficit that we have. Let's just start with our money system.
Did anybody ever say, hey, wait a minute? I just read about nickels.
Like, we are smart humans. Like, ask AI how to balance the budget. I don't know.
Well, we still have enough pennies out there. Since there are about 114 billion in circulation, you'll still be able to use them. And how do they ever become out of circulation? I guess they get lost or something, because why would they ever leave?
Well, now people are going to be hoarding them, right? Because they don't make them anymore. So there's going to be that. I have a change jar. I have pennies that are out of circulation because they're sitting in a jar right now. In the center console of your car, you throw them in a fountain, you throw them out. Like, don't throw them out.
You got to throw them in a fountain. Yeah, maybe this is a scheme by the fountain makers that's like, what?
Because they really recirculate that many anyway.
No, if they get rid of pennies, they're going to say people will start throwing in nickels and dimes.
Oh, good one, Curt Cruz. Okay. All right, there you go.
All right. Patriotic music for a patriotic weekend, Memorial Day weekend. This question was put out there. Have we forgotten what Memorial Day is all about? Turns out there's a new poll and they asked Americans, do you think Memorial Day has lost its original meaning? And about half of people say it's true. Memorial Day has lost its original meaning. 40% in this poll said it's remembering Americans' fallen troops. And that's true, America's fallen troops. But that's not the first thing they associate with Memorial Day anymore. That's not.
Well, the first thing I associate it with, I'm being exaggerating because I do know why we celebrate Memorial Day.
Are you going to say hot dogs?
I shouldn't even say celebrate. Why we remember, why this is no, I was going to say a day off, a long weekend.
You know what? Often we get those long weekends and people enjoy the long weekends, but they go, wait a minute, what's the real reason I'm having a long weekend?
Right.
What's up with that? So as far as the rest of this poll goes, we had the 40% say remembering Americans' fallen troops. All right. They say that, let me get the numbers right here. I want to make sure I get it all right. 60% say that Memorial Day is about and still matters about America's fallen troops. Just 48% of Gen Zers say, yes, they agree, compared to 76% of baby boomers. This is a lot of numbers early in the morning on a Friday for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's obviously okay to also associate it with barbecue summer and the nice 3-day weekend we've got coming up. Just make sure you take time to honor our fallen soldiers as well. Oh my gosh, nearly 1.2 million men and women have given their lives over the past 250 years to put us where we are today so we can kick back, relax, and enjoy that hot dogs. So,
wow. Well, there's more reasons than that, but that's a few. Yeah.
Here's the deal. And I learned this not too long ago. Like, really, it was brought to my attention. You don't say Happy Memorial Day. because it's not Veterans Day where we're, thanking veterans and all that. Memorial Day is a day of remembrance, not celebration.
And it doesn't obviously include what you're supposed to say. I guess you just don't say anything. Like, enjoy your Memorial Day and remember what it's all about.
Yeah.
That work?
Curt. I think so.
Okay, I like it. What's this deal here?
Oh my gosh. I saw this and I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally do this. People are debating whether you introduce yourself when calling companies. So when you like call a company or like a restaurant, what do you like? I always say, hi, my name's Jen. And I'll say, usually they'll say, hi, thanks for calling Red Robin. This is Joe. How can I help you? I'm like, hi, Joe, my name's Jen. And blah, 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 blah. Right. And I go on with my thing. I do that almost no matter who I'm calling, if I'm calling someone I don't already know.
I don't think that I do that, but I often ask what their name is if they don't share it up front, just a first name. And then I'll say, I'm Curt and blah, 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 blah. Because I do want to know the name of the person you're talking to, right?
But you introduce yourself. You do say, my name's Curt.
Yeah.
You do. Okay. So there's a TikTok that's going viral where a woman says she always introduces herself on the phone like we do to places like restaurants to make reservations. She says it's common courtesy, which I agree. But she has a bunch of friends that don't agree. They're like, just say hi or something and get to the point. Not like just, but it's like you're being polite.
Yeah, I kind of think so. And plus these, often when you're dealing with customer service reps and stuff like that, I always figure, man, they've dealt with a lot of unhappy people today. Maybe I'm unhappy and that's why I'm calling, but I always make sure to point it out. Listen, I'm not upset with you at all. I just need to talk to somebody who can work out this problem. You're a very lovely person.
Well, it's just sparked this debate online with people saying they always introduce themselves or they never do it. And the comments in the comments, there's the call center worker that says she loves it when people introduce themselves up front. But another person who has been a receptionist for 10 years says she makes fun of people who do that because, quote, why do I care? Just tell me what you need.
That does take a lot of the politeness out of it, though. I gotta admit. All right.
Is bananas be N-A-N-A-S. This is bananas be N-A-N-A-S again. It's bananas be N-A-N-A-S.
Nothing?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is bad news for people who like to add bananas to their smoothies. Me being one of those people. Bananas, we know, are a great source of fiber, potassium, and other nutrients, but a new study found that adding them to your morning smoothie might actually make it less healthy. And I have actually heard about this about really any fruit.
Well, I've heard things like
it breaks it down.
Yes, once you mush it up down to nothing, you lose a lot of some of the different kinds of nutrients that the whole reason you're having that fruit smoothie. So this is from the the journal Food and Function. Adding the banana can decrease your smoothie's nutritional value because it prevents your body from absorbing a type of antioxidant called flavonols. Flavonols?
I've heard of those before.
Yeah. This is a specific enzyme in bananas there is called PPO. Want me to go for this?
Yeah.
Short for polyphenol oxidase.
Nice job, Curt.
It's the enzyme in fruits that causes them to turn brown. It also breaks down the flavonols fast so they don't hit your bloodstream. But the difference was drastic. I guess they found adding a banana to your smoothie reduces the amount of these flavonoids you absorb by 84%. So you're only getting 16% of what you would get without it. So does that still improve the
So it's only the bananas. Okay, the effects were most drastic when adding one to a smoothie with lots of berries in it, which that's what I do. So if it's loaded with raspberries, blueberries, or blackberries, leave the banana out. That doesn't mean you should stop eating bananas altogether. They just say it's better to have one to snack on its own later. And now you know. You're welcome.
One Jen with a few little brown spots on it here and there.
Barf, no.
I know we've discussed that before. I think it's okay.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Who is more popular, you or your dog? That is the question.
A doggy daycare placed a poll with 2,000 dog owners, and almost 2/3 of their said that their dog has a more active social life than they do.
Which is interesting because I guess the dogs have keys to the car. They can go where they want and hang out with their friends and have a great social life. The deal is 63% of their dogs get to hang out with their friends more than they do. Friends meaning other dogs they might like to see on, walks or at the park, And if you do the same walk every day, or even if you go to the dog park, eventually you're going to get the names of some of the other dogs, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
54% their dog has a quote friend group, and
Mm-hmm.
69% said their dog has a best friend.
Aw. How about this is, and this is like 9 in 10 people say it's very important for dogs to have an active social life. That is true. Since we've got the puppy now, we're trying to, socialize without scaring it and overwhelming the dog. You know what I mean?
Well, the
Tilly?
top reasons to include it makes them happier, they're less lonely, they're more loving, and it makes them more confident. Is that what's wrong with Sailor, Snotty Sailor? She's just
I don't know that there's anything wrong with Sailor.
if we put her with another dog, she'll be more loving and friendly. No,
I don't know.
that
Well,
doesn't
how
mean
old is
anything
Sailor
about
now?
her.
3?
What?
How old is Sailor?
She's like 3 or 3.5.
Okay.
3.5.
Yeah, it's not too long. Old dogs can learn new tricks, I guess, right? What?
I need a chick clip.
For the people that aren't watching the video, Jen is trying to pull her neck back.
Well, because I just went forward and saw my jowls like.
Stop it.
Okay.
Let's go with this next topic rather. What's the best advice to the graduating students of the class of 2025? Thank you very much for everyone who participated and offered their advice for the graduating students of this year, next year, this year. Starting with Elaine, who suggested the best advice for the graduating students of the class of 2025: take a 30-day break, I guess, after you're done with school, and also master AI. That could be the future right there, AI.
Well, I'm interested because he said start here and he gave a link. I mean, he always said be thoughtful and kind, but the link that he gave is an ad that I always see on social media. And I don't know if I'm going to have to talk to Lane. I'm going to reach out to Lane and ask him if he did that.
Maybe AI put that ad in there, unbeknownst to him.
That's what I wonder.
Lynn says in corporate America, like if you're at work in corporate America, if you hear clapping, usually there's cake. That's probably true. I mean, if it was me at the old radio station, oh, yay!
Lynn, that's awesome. Suzanne said, you don't have to figure it all out. Enjoy the process of learning and growing your whole life. Gina said, vote like your rights depend on it. And Greg said, don't give up on your dreams.
We have Jan, who says the advice she'd give to a graduate this year: pray, donate, and speak out for democracy all over the world. Good one. And Erica, maintain a grateful and positive attitude and go after all that you want in life. These are
Andrea
good.
said, always be kind and always learn as much as you can about AI.
There again, people know. Put money away. This is what Kim says. Put money away for retirement with every paycheck without fail. That's one of those things. And if we're talking to people, say we're talking to somebody here who's 17, 18, 19 years old, that really does work. You don't notice at the time that you're taking out X% of your paycheck. Make sure that you have money to get by, obviously, and take care of stuff. But all of a sudden, 10, 15, 20 years goes by and you're like, hey, look at that.
Yeah. Anne-Marie said, dream big, but be okay if your dreams don't always end up where you thought they'd land. Fill your life and your time with real relationships. Don't let this digital world determine your value or your worth. That's a great one. And finally, always look for the silver lining. Even in the darkest of times, light will appear if you look for it.
Laurel, also along those same lines, keep a positive mindset and never let any human being alter your dreams in your future. Yes. Todd, take your time and go to school part-time to avoid student loans. That's interesting.
Todd's a teacher too.
Oh, okay. Becky, you can do anything you want. Just keep it. What? Oh, yeah. You can do anything you want to do. Just keep at it. Yeah, you got to keep at it.
Jennifer said, save for retirement now. That's coming from the financial gal. And Ken said, get a job that AI can't do, but can only help, and live your biggest life now. Things change in a second. So live, be now. Be in the now, live now, be now. Oh, okay. Got it.
I guess any of those would work. Awesome. Good advice from everybody.
You know what? I have a side note here because some of these great words that people are saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if you follow Eric Johnson, you know, the anchor on, or the former anchor
Yeah.
on
He's
Como
retired
News,
now from Como.
retired.
Eric. Yeah.
His mother just passed away.
Mm.
And even if you don't follow him, I would recommend you going to Facebook, finding Eric Johnson, and reading the tribute that he wrote to his mother. I was in tears last night reading it.
He's an
It
amazing
was
writer, an amazing journalist. And
beautiful.
remember Eric's Little Heroes? He did that bit forever, which was
There's a
fantastic
yeah,
as
there's a
well.
reason he has national awards for his storytelling, that's for sure.
Yes, here we go.
Our house in the middle of our street. Our house.
Okay, Jen.
Well, I don't have a house cleaner, so this does not apply to me, but I did put in here, do you or would you, if you had one, clean the house before the house cleaner comes over? Curt, you've had a house cleaner before, right?
Well, no. Here's the deal. A few years back, for one of the holidays, probably her birthday, maybe for Christmas, I gave Dana, well, kind of, I gave it to us,
Right.
a gift card for a house cleaning. I think it was like $500 or something like that.
Yeah.
We have not used it yet because of what this thing is at. It's like, well, let's get the house in at least a little bit of order first before the cleaner comes. Because at first I was like, well, okay, we'll have the person come over, but they can only clean this room and this room because the other ones are too far gone.
Curt,
So
you give
yes.
that $500 gift card to your friend Jen if you're not going to use it, because that's money wasted.
Well, we keep saying we're going to use it, but yeah, it's surprising that I'm actually surprised that I thought I was a weirdo going, well, you hire somebody to clean the house. They should clean the house. That doesn't mean you need to pre-clean it. But apparently, in this poll, over half of people said yes, that they would tidy up the home before a house cleaner came. About 14% said maybe. A full third said, like we just mentioned, no, that's what you're paying them for.
Interesting. I think that there's something to be said about tidying up, because if you've got like any kind of clutter, or stuff is covering spaces that you'd want them to ultimately clean, that you'd need to maybe tidy up a tiny bit, but I would certainly not actually full on clean.
Right. Well, I think that maybe also organizing and or tidying up your house, it becomes such a in your head, like that's a bad reflection on us, or on me if my house is not at least somewhat tidy. But
Okay.
I go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna go finish your sentence. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that was about it. But
Do you wash your hair before you go in and get your hair cut?
that's another thing here in this question. And typically, no. I'll wash my hair in the morning and then I'll get a haircut in the afternoon. Yes, but I don't wash my hair right before getting a haircut. No.
Well, and you know that I don't wash my hair every day because I'm not supposed to, because it will make it dry and gross.
Neither does my wife. Same reason.
Right. But if I'm getting a haircut and it's been my, 3 or 4 days between hair washes, I'm absolutely not washing my hair, because she's going to wash it so good for me anyway.
Okay. I don't think I get no when I get my hair cut, and I don't know if this is all guys. I mean, they do spray it, they wet it down, but they don't actually wash it and shampoo it and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. So it's different for you guys.
Yeah, but when you go get when Danny gets a haircut, they come back, oh yeah, it was only $200 this time. Like $200.
Well, it's expensive to get our hair done.
Right.
It's just a thing. And the last question, do you brush your teeth before you go see the dentist?
Yes.
100% yes. 95% of Americans say they brush their teeth before seeing the dentist. That's just common courtesy. You don't want a mouthful of gunk and smelliness for the dentist. That's not nice.
But you see, you floss every day too. The question should be, do you floss, just prior to seeing your dentist, as if you've been flossing the entire 6 months leading up to it?
Fakers.
You're a good flosser, I think, right?
I do. I floss every single night.
Nice. I'm not that good, but I like you. I don't want to have a mouthful of gunk. I don't like it.
I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, Curt, but I did want to bring it up because Seattle's on the list.
Okay, well then we'll keep it quick by doing this. A list is out of the most sleep-deprived cities in America. Most sleep-deprived. Again, research from this one. This is from the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. They looked into the sleep habits of people in 100 major cities. So the most sleep-deprived cities in America, just do the top 5 here, are Norfolk, Virginia, New Orleans, Detroit, Michigan, Toledo, Ohio, and Cincinnati, Ohio.
Ohio has
Indianapolis
2.
is 6th.
What?
I was going to say Indianapolis is 6th. Cleveland is 9th. What's up with the Midwest here?
Yeah, the Midwest has, and there's 3 cities in Ohio that make the top 10.
Right. And then Indianapolis and Detroit, also Midwest cities,
But
and Memphis,
Norfolk,
Tennessee.
but Norfolk, Virginia is the number one most sleep deprived city. But then they did the 10 least sleep deprived. And
Hmm.
all I want to say is Minneapolis is number one on that list. Minneapolis, Minnesota, less sleep deprived. Seattle, Washington is number 2. We are not sleepless in Seattle.
We are sleepful in Seattle,
Yeah.
which I don't know who they were talking to. I don't know if I'm sleep deprived. I'm just a bad sleeper with my sleep apnea and stuff. I don't know if that counts as sleep deprived, or just I have a issue.
Okay, well, I was just proud of our city. I contribute to the number going the other way, but I'm working on it. Getting
Oh, you're part of
sleep
the sleep
hours up.
deprived nation.
I feel like I need to have more sleep
Well, if you're going to stay out till midnight on school nights,
or later.
driving to Bellingham, but you're a good friend. You're a good friend. America's favorite burger chain. We have done stories like this. Locally, it was, I think, what's Seattle's favorite burger? But this is according to Yelp reviews. So they looked at Yelp. What is America's favorite burger chain? This is a compilation of the top 25 burger brands in the U.S. The criteria was the brands have more than 100 locations. They operate in multiple states and primarily categorized under burgers on Yelp. With those criteria, how do we want to do this? We want to start with, let's do the top 3.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to say up front, I don't know that this is a fair assessment
Why?
because, well, I'll get to that. So according to Yelp reviews, the third favorite burger chain is Shake Shack. And if you're not familiar with Shake Shack, they haven't been in the Seattle area for too long, but there are locations at South Lake Union. Kirkland has one, U Village. Have you ever been to Shake Shack, Jen?
I feel like I have, but there's one that opened in Linwood recently.
Yep.
And have you been there yet?
I mean, I went to Shake Shack when I was in London. That was the first time I'd had it. And I wasn't blown away by it. I was like, okay, it's decent. So Shake Shack is the third favorite burger chain. Second is called The Habit.
I've been to The Habit. I'm actually looking up The Habit right now because
Ballard in West Seattle.
no, there's more locations than that. There's one in Shoreline as well.
Oh,
There's like,
really?
yeah, there's a bunch of them around here. Yeah, I've been to
Okay.
the one in Shoreline and I've been to the one in like, I don't know, in the South End.
I have not been to either of to any of those yet, so I can't know. And the first favorite burger chain, In-N-Out Burger, based on Yelp reviews, is America's favorite burger. The closest one to us is near Salem, Oregon.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, if I go to California, I'm going there for sure. I like
Right.
that place. I think
Right.
it's fresh.
But I mean, how many people, in this area, if they've not been to California or anywhere else, have had an In-N-Out Burger? So, regardless, let's finish off some of these of the top 25. Number 7 was Five Guys, and I'm just skipping over some of these because some of them are not in our area. Number 10 was Red Robin.
Red
11,
Robin.
Jack in the Box. Now we're getting to fast food, I would say, more than the other ones.
Yeah, for sure. Jack in the Box is fast food.
Yeah, well, I don't know if the other ones are so much, but McDonald's is number 17, Burger King 19, White Castle was number 20, which we also don't have in this area. That's more of a Midwest thing. And Wendy's number 22 on the list. That I disagree with. I think that Wendy's should be higher up on there. Do you like Wendy's burgers?
I do not like Wendy's.
How can you not like Wendy's burgers? They're square.
I just don't like them.
They're square. They are square. I don't know if that's a reason
Maybe
to like
I
them
need
or
to
not.
give it a try again, but no, because I'm trying not to do fast food as much. Okay, let's move on. The way to make the perfect s'more.
More food stuff because of Memorial Day weekend.
A kid's summer camp came up with the perfect way to make a s'more. Here's their guide. Roasting technique is important. That's number 1. Most people agree it's all about the marshmallow. They said that they found the ideal roasting time is 2 minutes and 37 seconds over medium heat.
How do you determine medium heat if you're going over a fire, by the way?
I don't know. The chocolate, while traditional milk chocolate works just fine, darker chocolate gives it an extra flavor punch. They suggest using one that's 70% cocoa.
How about the graham cracker? Of course, a big part of it. It provides the crunch and structure. Structure, that's funny. That holds the whole thing together. So a slightly honey flavored graham cracker tastes the best, and the cracker should be warmed for 12 seconds on each side before assembly to enhance the texture and flavor
That's a good
profile.
idea. And they also said to melt the chocolate just a tiny bit so it's soft. Okay. And then
Mhm.
the ratio finally is the last thing when you go to assemble. The perfect s'more will have 2 parts graham cracker, 3 parts marshmallow, and 1 part chocolate. There you go.
All right. Depends on if you're using the jumbo marshmallows or the little ones, I guess. Because
Maybe.
I'm thinking jumbo. Sorry, that's how I roll. Jumbo. Hmm.
Fun Fact Friday.
Fun Facts Friday, which we do really enjoy, coming up with random fun facts that maybe you can use, maybe not. I'm going to go with you can use them at some
I
point.
think so. The last word in the Oxford English Dictionary is ziziva. Ziziva.
Mm-hmm. Ziziva, Zyzzyva, a type of tropical weevil in South America, or one of the lines from Spice Girls song.
It is?
Ziziva? No. What do they say in Wannabe?
I don't know.
Zippy, that I don't know. Okay, Michael Jordan, another Fun Fact Friday fact, did not lose 3 games in a row with the Bulls across an incredible 8-year stretch. 626 games, regular season and playoffs, did not lose 3 games in a row ever in all that time.
And then there were such low expectations for Star Wars that it was only on 42 screens nationwide for its opening weekend. How crazy is that?
And then it took off. The seaside village of Carmel, California, bans wearing high heels more than 2 inches in height without a permit.
I mean, what?
I don't know. Some of these laws that went into place for certain reasons back in the day that are still on the books are kind of funny, but be careful if you don't want to get popped. Keep your heels less than 2 inches in Carmel.
Kurt, did you know this next one? When Kurt Cobain and Chris, I don't know.
Novoselic?
Yeah.
Novoselic? Yeah.
First started playing music together, it wasn't Nirvana. They joined up to start a Creedence Clearwater Revival cover band called the Sellouts. Did you know that?
I did not know that. See,
Okay.
it's a fun fact, and I learned something.
Yeah.
What is it? No. 1.2 million mosquitoes, if they bit you at the same time, they drain all of your blood.
Why didn't you want to do the France one? I thought that was really interesting.
Okay, go ahead.
France didn't stop executing people with the guillotine until September of 1977.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to me.
Still chopping off heads. So that actually ties in with the original Star Wars movie came out there in 1977. If you were in France, maybe you get punished with a guillotine.
Oh my
T-shirt was invented in 1904 and marketed towards bachelors who did not know how to sew and replace buttons.
How interesting is that? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
The phrase close but no cigar comes from carnivals in the early 1900s when they used to give out cigars as prizes for winning games.
Oh, I see. So that was a smart ass thing to say. Close, but no cigar for you. The record for the most flowers sold in a single day was August 17th, 1977, the day after Elvis died.
Can you believe that? Because you'd think that it was like Valentine's Day or Mother's Day. No, it's when Elvis
Yep.
died.
Sure.
Boise State University famously has blue turf on their football field, and they actually trademarked the idea of having non-green artificial turf. So if anyone else in the world wants to do it, they need to get their permission before.
Nice going, Boise State. Way to think ahead. If you're in a room with 70 people, statistically, there is a 99.9% chance that at least 2 of those people will have the same birthday. 70 people. Yeah. I've been in a party before that Dana and another friend ended up, oh, that's my birthday too.
That is crazy. And if you're in a room with just 23 people, there's a 50% chance that 2 of them will have the same birthday. I put that in there because I was like, come on, no way. And the final one, the average person's attention span for a single screen is 47 seconds. So if you're watching this, you've probably tuned out long ago.
Well, at least we move around some, so it's not
down.
static.
Listen to this. That's down from 2.5 minutes in 2004.
Man, pretty soon it'll be down to 3 seconds.
Yeah.
That'll be it. Thank you for those fun facts, Jen. Those were all you this weekend, and they were fun.
Thanks.
Except for the guillotine one. That's it. All right. Here's what's going on in Seattle this weekend. A whole bunch of stuff to go over. Movies opening, a couple of big ones this weekend. In fact, they were saying this may end up being a record-setting weekend for Memorial Day. You have Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning out this weekend. That's the 8th Mission Impossible, and supposedly the very last one.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Well, The Final Reckonings, we'll see. And then what's the deal with the Lilo and Stitch live action? Did you go see that?
I did not go see it, but I took my daughter to see an advanced screening because she is a Stitch, like she loves Stitch so much. So my daughter Macy and her friend Jonathan went to see it. They gave it an average of a B.
Okay.
They thought it was cute and liked
That's
it.
fair.
Yeah.
Other things going on around the PNW this weekend. You want to get out and do some stuff. Northwest Folk Life Festival is going on at the Seattle Center today through Monday. Bring extra deodorant for the other people around you.
Oh my God, Curt.
That was kind of.
The International Film Festival continues through Sunday. And of course, the Indy 500 is on Sunday. And the other race that everyone is talking about, the Oscar Mayer will hold the first Weenie 500. And actually, that race is today.
Yeah, streaming on the Fox Sports app. Actually, you can also look at IndyCar on Fox social media accounts at 11.
That's 11 today is when the races happen. 11 our time is when the races happen.
All 6 Wienermobiles. We didn't even know there were 6, but they're all 6 representing a different hot dog from a different U.S. region. Then finally, not finally, there's plenty of other things going on. We've got Memorial Day coming up with ceremonies honoring veterans on Monday. Lots of the local cemeteries and parks.
Yes, that cemeteries honoring veterans that have given their life. There you go. Curt, what are you doing this weekend?
Well, as people know, we were fostering some puppies, of which one of them got adopted, and we adopted the other one. So we have a new puppy here, goes by the name of Tilly, and she's awesome. However, we had promised some friends of ours that we would watch their dogs. This is months ago. We're going to France. Can you watch our dog? Well, that happened to be this week too. And it turns out, I love these people to death, but it turns out they're in France for 2 weeks. And to me, 2 weeks is a long time to ask somebody to watch your dog. I'm sorry. For free, by the way.
Should have asked some more details, Curt Cruz.
I know I should have asked for dollars or something. No, it's been fine. He's a good dog, but it's a lot of dogs. Yes.
Plus, you have Bella the Beagle. You've had Bella for a long time.
Right.
And are you getting the new puppy to foster because you're part of the foster program?
That's, I think, next Monday or Tuesday. We have another one coming.
You're going to have 4 dogs at your house when you only had 1 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that is the case. So, what about you? We've got about a minute and a half left here.
Oh, I'm just gonna Pat bought a boat. It was a used boat. He's put a lot of time and work into it. We're gonna take it out to make sure all his work paid off and it actually, rides in the water. And then just dinner with friends and Macy's 16th family birthday dinner celebration we're finally doing. So that's it.
Oh, okay, fine. Because I was going to say Macy's 16th birthday has been going on for like a month. She's milking it.
Well, we just never got to do her family birthday dinner. So
all right. What do we have here? What is this for the question of the weekend?
It's kind of a fun one.
Yep.
All it is come on, admit it. You have one.
Oh.
Like for my hot firefighter boyfriend Pat, his might be a pill box. One of those double pill boxes.
Stuff that you wouldn't necessarily admit to people because they might age you or something.
Or anything, right? Come on, admit it. You have one.
Yeah, I think ours is the Hallmark Channel. We watched a lot. Okay, that's what we want from we're back on. Actually, we'll be back on Wednesday.
Yeah, we want you to enjoy the long weekend. We are also going to enjoy the long weekend and take Monday, Memorial Day off. So we'll be back with a new episode on Wednesday. We'll post that question of the day on Facebook. In the meantime, make great memories this Memorial Day weekend. Make good choices, find joy, spread kindness, and laugh.
And laugh.
For the soul. Have a great one, everyone. Thanks for letting us be part of your lives.